What's up, guys? Today I'm in the shop working on this Fox Body drag car. In the last video, I went ahead and got the bodywork completely knocked out on the doors and got our fenders roughed in and primed so they are ready to be guide coated and blocked. I'm pretty confident the bodywork is going to be extremely close on those. But we've got 2 days this week to work on this thing, and in those 2 days, my goal is to get the bodywork completely finished up so that all we have to do is do a final sand and finally get this joker in color. The first thing that I need to tackle is to go ahead and get this quarter panel addressed, and I won't lie to you guys, it's a little rough. The owner of the car actually started the bodywork on that thing before he brought it here. He got it sort of close, but there are some issues that I can feel that I need to take care of first. So today, the goal is to go ahead and get everything sort of roughed in and get that quarter panel primed so that I can go ahead and shoot it with a guide coat. Tomorrow we can block it out, finalize the bodywork, and spot prime that thing so it's 100% complete. But with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and get to work right now, get some body filler thrown on this thing, get out the sand and block, and hopefully in the next 2 days, we've got this joker ready for paint. Alright guys, so after a few coats of body filler and a lot of blocking, as you can see, we've got this quarter panel pretty close. There's a spot here on the rocker panel, and there's one also on the other side over there that I'm going to skim one more time, and then I think we're going to go ahead and take this thing outside and go ahead and hit it with a DA all over and just get everything prepped, because I've pretty much got this to the point now where I can tell there's some little issues, but I can't track it down until I actually prime it, guide coat it, and that'll tell me exactly where my issues are. So that's gonna be the worst of the worst on this car, and the fact that we're that close means that we can go ahead and prime it. When we guide coat it, we'll know exactly where our issues are, and then we can quickly address those tomorrow and then spot prime everything. So then all it'll need after that is a final sand. So that's what I'm gonna do now, is go ahead and back this thing out of here so I can sand it with the DA all over to get it ready for primer, because I don't want dust and stuff everywhere. It's already bad enough that I've done some block sanding in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing pushed outside. We're gonna go over it with a DA, and then here in just a minute, we'll be shooting some primer. All right, so I have hit everything that's getting primer tonight with a DA sander. So we are pretty much ready to mask this thing up and go ahead and shoot primer on everything. I did not worry about right now sanding the door jambs. I also still have some work that has to be done on the firewall, but I'm gonna just take care of all that whenever we spot prime everything, because I'm focused right now on the things that are actually gonna be body worked and that we're trying to get perfect. The firewall, he just wants decent. I'll be able to get that close by feel. And then the door jambs, obviously they're not getting any body work. They just need to be scuffed and then ready to paint. So I'm gonna just hit those whenever I spot prime everything. But the roof, the quarters, and the A-pillars are all ready. So I'm gonna go ahead and cover up all the carbon fiber, the cage, and all of that good stuff, and then wipe everything down, just like if we were gonna paint this car tonight, but we're only shooting primer. So I'm gonna go ahead and get all that stuff covered up that we don't want any primer on. Gonna mix up some primer, get this thing covered, and then that way we can get out here tomorrow, hit it with a guide coat, go ahead and block everything, and then finalize our body work on the rest of the body. So that's what we need to do now, so I can go to bed and we can get right back to work tomorrow. So let's get this took care of. I'm going to be completely honest with you. There is nothing pretty about this tape job aside from the fact that it's done. I absolutely hate taping off cars like this because it's so tedious. But everything's covered that we don't want primer on, sort of. But I know it's not pretty, and I know I didn't really take time to make all the lines crisp and all that. But that's just because this is primer. If we were actually spraying paint, obviously I would take a lot more time and get all this right. But this is just for primer, just to build up some of the areas that we did body work so that we can get ready to block this out. So no big deal. I do promise that whenever we paint this thing, I'll take a lot more time and we'll get it good. So now that that is finally done, the only thing left for me to do is wipe everything down, get it good and clean. We're gonna mix up our primer, get this thing shot, and that way we can go to bed. I do still have to tape off the wheel wells. Those are carbon fiber on the inside. I don't want to get those painted. So I'm gonna do that. We'll roll this joker back outside, get it sprayed with primer, pull it back in here, and it's bedtime. Well, we got this thing primed, and everything looks decent. As far as the quarter panel we had to do so much body work on, it looks pretty straight for the most part, but there's definitely some obvious, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but some very apparent issues with that body line. So we're going to be spending some time working on the body line tomorrow and hoping that we can get that right. Apparently this car was wrecked. It was hit in the rear end. It just really messed up that quarter panel, and the owner of the car kind of beat it back out, did some hammer and dolly work on it, got it back close, but it's definitely showing, it's definitely not right on the body line. We're definitely having some problems with that, and we'll definitely have to do some filler work to be able to get that line sharp and so that it, you know, does like it's supposed to do again. So not really that big of a deal, but we are going to have some time in it, and I hate rebuilding body lines. I'm not going to lie to you, but I have seen a couple of tricks that some people have used, so I'm going to try some of those tomorrow, I think, and hope that it works out. We'll just have to see. But everything's in primer. Everything looks pretty good for the most part. The body work is fairly straight from what I can tell. Obviously, as always, we won't know until we guide coat and block this thing if it is right. So we'll get out here tomorrow. We'll work on this body line, get that thing dialed in. We'll get it. It's not going to be an issue. We're going to get it. So anyway, all right, I'm going to bed. We'll get out here tomorrow, do some more body work. We're going to meet this deadline. All right, guys, it's the next day, which means it is time to get started guide coating and blocking this body work to try to get this finalized today. But before we push this thing outside to spray it with a guide coat, I have something that I want to try. I saw it online. It's a pretty cool trick if it works. All right, so basically what I saw was some guys were taking some masking tape and they would put it over wherever there was a shape. Like if they had to build something to go in there and they were trying to kind of smooth that out, drop my tape. But if they were trying to kind of smooth that out or whatever, they would take that masking tape and they'd put a couple layers and then they would put body filler over the top of it, let the body filler harden, and then it would actually maintain that shape, and they would build either like a putty paddle or a sanding block or something of that nature so that they could get that shape 100% perfect. So I don't know if it's going to work or not. I've never tried it, never done it, but I'm going to try to do that with the body line on this side of the car. So what I'm going to do is go to the driver's side where the body line is 100% perfect, go ahead and build a couple of those so that way I have one that I can actually smooth out the body filler and hopefully build that shape with, and then also one that I can use as a sanding block to try to sand it down to the perfect, that perfect shape. So I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to push this thing outside, and we're going to spray it with some guide coat, and we're going to get started on this body work, and hopefully we can get this took care of today. All right, guys, so there are my blocks. I've got 6 pieces of masking tape there, 6 pieces, well, 5 pieces now. I pulled one off. But I put a good thick layer of body filler there, so it's kind of holding that contour, so we're waiting for that to harden up before I go ahead and pull that off. But in the meantime, I went ahead, and you can see right here, I kind of started sanding over here just a little bit. But what I did was I ran a piece of masking tape along the center of where that body line is. A little bit of an issue right there, but I'll fix that. But I ran that along the bottom side, and I sanded the top side. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and take another piece of tape and run along the top side and sand the bottom side. And what that's doing is that's kind of giving me that line. And you can tell it's a lot straighter than what we saw whenever we actually got it primed. So I'm going to go ahead and sand that bottom side and go ahead and try to crisp that up a little bit. And that'll give me something to follow. And that's going to go ahead and kind of start getting everything established right across there. And it'll actually start building that line out and sanding down some of the high spots down here. So it'll start building that up. But then what we'll have to do is we'll have to do a little bit of filler and then actually like build it up that way. So we're making a little bit of progress, but we're waiting mainly on those over there. So that's what I'm going to do now. Go ahead and run another piece of tape, sand the bottom side, and hopefully by then those are hardened. We'll be able to get them over here. And we'll be able to hopefully go ahead and build that joker out to the right shape. Well, my little body filler thing did not work out. I can put it up here. You can tell it just does not follow the contour like I thought it would. So I guess we're doing it old school, which is going to be the tape trick. But I don't want to sand on this too much more. I might add a little bit of body filler right there real quick so that I have some that I can shape off of. But I'm going to go ahead and get this thing pushed outside. I'm going to go ahead and get it shot with a guide coat so that can start drying so we can get it blocked out. And then I guess we'll just go from there. All right, guys, so you see right here, the car is finally blocked out. And honestly, not terrible. There are a few spots that still need to be addressed. Some that we had worked on and gotten closer, some that we didn't know were there, which is exactly why we guide coat and block. I'll show you guys real quick kind of how this thing is looking, kind of where we're at. We're gonna go ahead and mix up some body filler, get it put in there, and then get ready to spot prime this thing. But it's in good shape, looking good. Honestly, the body line that we were having issues with on the passenger side, pretty good. A little side drag real quick, but that's kind of cool. But you can take a look at it. Everything's blocked out and looking good. So you can see our body line that runs right there. That's pretty straight. Obviously, we still have, we'll have to prime it to be able to see how it actually looks. But running our hand over it, feels nice and crispy. Looks like it runs nice and straight based on the crown that we can see there where the little bit of guide coat is, because I did not want to shave it down. I wanted to leave it good and sharp. But a little bit of issue there, a little bit there at the bottom. So some of this stuff we didn't even know was there, which is exactly why we guide coat and block. So now we can see it. But you come around to the other side. This is the quarter panel that was in the best shape, but you can see right there, I had no idea that was low. There's a low spot down in there. That is actually pretty bad. Had no idea that was there, but we'll be able to fix that pretty quick. And then we got to do some work here, and then obviously down in here. But those I didn't know it was there, but honestly, every Fox body I've ever done had a little bit of a low spot right there. So with that said, I'm gonna go ahead, get some body filler mixed up, get it thrown on here. We'll block that down, and then we're gonna be getting really, really close on this thing, and we'll be able to spot prime and all. And then that's actually gonna tell the tale of that body line. I'm really looking forward to getting some primer on it and hoping that body line looks like it's supposed to under primer. It's hard to see with everything being a different color, but once you actually get some shine on it and stuff like that, you'll be able to see more. But I'm going to go ahead and get some body filler mixed up, get these spots addressed, and then get the blocking on that. And we'll be shooting some more primer here in just a little bit, and this thing will be looking 100%. guys, we got this Joker body worked and in primer, and everything is looking awesome. So this Joker, I'm pretty content with where it's at currently. I think whenever we block this on down, I think it's going to look really, really good. So that quarter panel, it was in bad shape. And to see it now, it's looking good. I'm really, really happy with the product there. The fenders are absolutely perfect. So those are pretty much ready to be wet sanded and painted, as well as the doors and the hood. So all of that stuff is ready for color. So there's still the firewall that needs to be done. I still need to sand those door jambs down and get those ready to be primed, so those can all be wet sanded, and then finally in color. But unfortunately, that's going to be as far as we get this week. I know that the goal was to go ahead and get this thing completely in primer, all the bodywork completely finished, but since I'm painted in pieces, then I do have to do the doors and the fenders and the hood and then move everything else into the paint booth. So I have to have 2 rounds of paint. So no big deal. What we'll do is when we get back in here, go ahead and paint the fenders and the doors and the hood, get those painted, and that way they can sit and dry. And then while they're in the paint booth curing, we'll go ahead and get the firewall knocked out as well as the door jambs and completely finalize the body so we can go in the next day. So that is all going to be in the next video. We will be getting this car painted and finished so that we can get it out of here and get back to our square body. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you check out that one right there, because YouTube thinks it's going to be the best thing for you to watch next. And hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything on the channel. As always, appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next one. Deuces.